It's 2005, and Yamaha is about to release the greatest 600 class supersport ever made. The YZF R6 is now entering its third generation, and the Japanese motorcycle brand has equipped it with an all-new aluminum frame, adjustable inverted forks, and a 130 horsepower 4-cylinder engine. The bike should have a top speed around 160 miles per hour, a 0 to 60 time of roughly 3 seconds, and a red line at 17,500 RPM. But there's only one problem. Yamaha is lying. Introduced in the late 90s, the R6 was quick to build a reputation as the most street-friendly track bike, balancing comfort with performance to win its Supersport World Championship debut in 1999. 4 years later, the second generation arrived with fuel injection and decline styling. By 2005, Yamaha was ready to introduce the world to their third edition of the burgeoning legend, a bike that was to become the center of an international scandal. In a drastic departure from previous years, the new R6 abandoned its comfortable riding position in favor of no-compromise ergonomics, pursuing a more aggressive setup than any other production motorcycle. Consistent with the hardcore racing equipment, Yamaha gave the upgraded motor a redline of 17,500 RPM. This impressive feat became the center of their marketing campaign. Commercials and advertisements showed the bike screaming to its adrenaline-fueled peak. To many customers, the tachometer looked too good to be true. And it was. Within weeks of hitting showroom floors, skeptical buyers were already hooking the R6 up to dyno machines and diagnostic computers. Despite the tachometer displaying Yamaha's claimed peak revolutions, third-party testing verified the bike was only hitting a software-limited 15,800. Motorcycle instrument clusters are notoriously inaccurate. Speedometers that read an extra 10 or 15 miles per hour were common throughout the early 2000s and broadly accepted in the industry. In fact, an independent test done by Cycle World in 2006 demonstrated that most supersport tachometers had an error of about 6%. The Yamaha R6, however, was far ahead the competition here as well. It was off by a whopping 1,800 RPM. When the news broke in February of 2006, outraged fans rushed to online forums in complaint. Accusations of fraud and false advertising were waged in anger. To make matters worse, several magazines had already published full reviews of the R6 with the incorrect redline number, and began clamoring to Yamaha for an explanation. The massive inaccuracy led many to suspect that the brand had intentionally misled the public, as the number programmed into the bike was so different from the one written on the gauges. Eager to avoid legal complications, Yamaha immediately corrected all their marketing material, apologized to customers, and offered to purchase the R6 back from any unsatisfied owners. In a show of good faith, they even offered to refund taxes, registration fees, and interest payments to make customers as whole as possible. Whether anyone took Yamaha up on this deal and returned their motorcycle is unknown, but their rapid and comprehensive response was enough to win back the trust of the supersport world. For the 2007 model year, the issue was completely resolved with a new and much more accurate tachometer. This brief but serious scandal, which could have ruined the reputation of an entire brand, quickly became overshadowed by the success of the R6. Even with a redline closer to 16,000 RPM, the bike was so good that nobody really cared. It was one of the fastest, lightest, and most powerful bikes in its class, and easily the most rewarding to push to the limit. Since its introduction in '99, the R6 has claimed 10 manufacturer titles in the Supersport World Championship, a record tied only by Honda. Today, following the conclusion of its production in 2020, the R6 is considered a legend, and its brief controversy with tachometer fraud and false advertising is nearly as forgotten as the competition. Thanks for watching, and remember to subscribe.